when you have a business partner who wants out, or if you want out of your business partnership, you want to make sure that you've got your rights and responsibilities well understood so that you know exactly what you're entitled to. I'm attorney Parag Amin, and my firm and I have helped numerous business owners in partnership disputes and issues and resolutions and dissolutions when it comes to these areas. So let me explain to you exactly what you need to do. First, you want to make sure that you've got a complete financial picture of all of the business records. I have seen numerous times where business partners have been denied access to things like profit and loss statements, balance sheets, tax returns, and this is absolutely inappropriate. Under California law, business owners have the right to be able to access the financial records of the business and to be able to access the supporting documents or documentation that make up those financial statements. So, said differently, if there are income aspects like invoices or purchase and sales receipts that make up a part of the profit and loss statement, or that are shown as a part of the profits and losses on a profit and loss statement, you're entitled to that information. You're allowed to be able to see and examine what and how those numbers were calculated, how exactly somebody arrived at them. So you're allowed to see the backup documentation for it. So that's the first thing. Make sure that you've got a complete financial picture. Also, as a part of that financial picture, make sure that you know exactly how much money your business partner or partners have taken out of the business. I've dealt with cases where business partners had someone on the other side that took out way more money than they had, and then they funneled it out through various kind of shell expenses or fake expenses, and that led to disputes because at the end of the day, a business owner is not allowed to run personal expenses through a business. They are not allowed to enrich themselves at the expense of their business partners. There are fiduciary duties that protect business partners from these kinds of acts. So if you do have one of these problems, make sure that you reach out to somebody who knows what they're doing, who can advise you of your rights, because the sooner you handle this, the better off you'll be. I'll give you a quick example. Not too long ago, I had a client come to my office. He and his best friend from childhood became business partners because his best friend from childhood had started a business and was struggling and asked my client to help him with it. And when my client stepped in, not only was he able to help him with the business, but he was able to help make it very successful and turn it completely around. Now, of course, when that happened, the best friend who originally owned the business, who wasn't doing well with the business, all of a sudden saw a new opportunity to be able to run a bunch of expenses through the business that weren't approved. And what happened is my client was suffering because of it. My client was getting less payroll, wasn't able to take distributions because the business just didn't have enough money, all because his business partner was running personal expenses through the business. My client had worked with multiple other attorneys and law firms, and unfortunately they weren't able to get a resolution. He came to my office and we were able to get it resolved within 3 months. And the way we did it is we went through and looked at all the financials, we understood the financials, and we made sure we looked at all the supporting documentation for each one of the expense entries that were run through the business. And from doing that, we were able to determine that in fact, the business partner was running personal expenses through the business. And I personally spoke with opposing counsel about this and talked to him about all the things his client had done wrong and how we had opportunities to be able to sue the business partner and potentially be able to get not only all of that money back, but also potentially punitive damages and my client's attorney's fees. What this did is it substantially increased the stakes for the other side, and we were able to get the case resolved within 3 months when previous firms had been working on it for over a year and weren't able to get it resolved. So please, if you have an issue like this, reach out to me and my team, or reach out to somebody who can help you, because it is critical that you hire somebody who knows what they're doing in this area.